and welcome to the Nation ASEAN Plus. I'm Melissa Ong at Wisma Bernama in Kuala Lumpur, the home of Malaysia's national news agency. Now, every weekend, we bring you stories that made the week and insightful perspectives across this dynamic and diverse region. We have had some significant developments in the ASEAN bloc this week. We begin here with Malaysia. Now, Malaysian Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim has assured that the Madani government will provide full cooperation if efforts to locate Malaysia Airlines flight MH370 yield results. Anwar emphasised the importance of balancing the need to search for the aircraft while ensuring the most prudent use of public funds. Last Friday, Transport Minister Anthony Loke announced that on December 13th, the Cabinet had agreed in principle to accept an offer from marine robotics company Ocean Infinity to resume the search for the wreckage of MH370. He stated that the deep-sea search would focus on a new location with an estimated span of 15,000 square kilometres in the southern Indian Ocean under a no-fine, no-fee agreement, meaning the government would not incur any costs if the wreckage is not found. Malaysia Airports Holdings Berhad MAHB will enhance infrastructure, operational management systems and security measures at airports in preparation for ASEAN Chairmanship 2025. Chief Secretary to the Government Tan Sri Shamsul Azri Abu Bakar said that MAHB Managing Director Datuk Muhammad Izani Ghani conveyed this during a courtesy call at his office on Tuesday to discuss Malaysia's preparations as host for the ASEAN Chairmanship next year. Previously, Transport Minister Anthony Loke reportedly said that MAHB had been tasked with implementing several enhancements at all entry points in the country in preparation for the ASEAN Chairmanship next year. Now, the COVID-19 and influenza situation in Malaysia remains under control, with no increase in cases requiring intensive care unit ICU treatment and no fatalities reported. The Health Ministry said that no new variants of concern have been detected, and the circulating variants in Malaysia are Omicron and its subvariants. Now, according to the MOH, reported cases decreased by 14.23% to 1,477 cases in epidemiological week 51 from December 15 to 21st, compared to 1,722 cases the week previously. However, the public is advised to take proactive steps to maintain personal health and prevent infection or transmission to others during festive gatherings. This month marks a significant milestone for Malaysia's civil servants, especially those under the Public Service Remuneration System or SSPA, as they receive their first salary increment under the scheme's adjustment. But beyond the numbers, what does this reform mean for the backbone of our nation? The civil service and its role in driving Malaysia's economic growth. Now, providing valuable insights into this topic is Datuk Dr. A.T. KUMARARAJAH, a socio-economic and political commentator. Hi, Dato, and we start off with this question. What benefits do you expect from the new salary adjustments under the SSPA, Dato?
Hi, Marissa. Thank you. I think the SSPA is very important in terms of, profiling in terms of the civil service, simply because the last time we ever made adjustments to the civil service salary was way back in 2015. And if you really see from our SSB, from System Saran Baru 1992, eventually moving to in 2002, and now with the SSPA since 2012, the first time we made salary adjustments was 2015. Yes, we have done a little bit in between. Yes, we did give some sort of impetus during the COVID years, but a distinct change. So since December 1st, the change has been in the region of about 7% at the top end to about 15% at the bottom end. So effectively, if you see the salary adjustments, they are somewhere in between about 17 to 42% effective salary change. And that really boosts the morale of our 1.6 million civil servants. That's really very, very important. And also in terms of improving, and very much now there's so much of debate is going on in terms of standard of living, in terms of what's minimum wage, what's the average wage to survive in many cities in parts of Malaysia. So in that way, improvement in the civil service standards of living is very, very important. And I think this SSP adjustment is one very distinct step towards that direction.
Now, Datuk, I understand the Housing and Local Government Minister Nga Korming in August said that salary adjustment for civil servants is expected to create a multi-billion ringgit impact on consumption and drive a multiplier effect. Which sectors will benefit most, in your opinion?
Okay, so let's look at what's the numbers first, right? So if you really look at our operational expenditure of our Malaysian budget since 2024, even 25, we're looking at close to 300 billion in excess. So about 40%, 42 to be exact, 42% of our budget goes towards maintaining the civil service emolument. About 128 billion. Out of this 128 billion, 95 is to pay salaries and about 32 is just to maintain the civil service pension scheme. So 128 billion is the figures that we pay out every year. This adjustment gives you approximately about 10 billion increase in terms of for the government, and that 10 billion increase has been justified in terms of more targeted subsidies, especially with the diesel subsidies. So about 3 billion will come from savings there. So in specifics, we will input about 10 billion excess to what we are doing before. And in a good economy system, just like ours, we probably look at the multiplier effect is somewhere in between 1.5 to 3 times. So even simple back of the envelope calculation, Melissa, we should see about $20 billion impact in our GDP. And this impact would primarily come from consumer and retail services. It should go towards other services like healthcare and education. It also should go towards long-term capital expenditure, especially in the property sector market. And I think that boost will come from this 1.6 million civil servants, not only in terms of boosting their morale, but also boosting the economy of our nation.
Now, how will civil servant salary adjustments influence Malaysia's economic growth next year? Perhaps some perspective on this.
So that's the thing, right? So in a times when we are looking at more targeted subsidies, I mentioned the diesel subsidy, we're looking at the petrol subsidy somewhere coming on board middle of next year. And at times when we are trying to tighten the screws in terms of leakages in our economy, we also make sure that our civil servants deliver at the best. And I think our Prime Minister PMX has been very, very clear in terms of, yes, we will reward performance, but we must ensure that one, the civil service is very strategic in the approach, and second, productivity is a word that he keeps using every time he can in terms of speaking to the civil service. That narrative of increasing productivity and ensuring that the nation delivers, and the 1.6 million civil servants is the backbone of what this Maladi government wants to do. And don't forget, this 1.6 million civil servants are the ones who kept the country on track. And to me, I very personally believe, with all the changes that took place politically since 2018, especially with 2020 changes in the government, and we've seen so many changes in our prime ministership over about just 5-year period, something which you never saw for the earlier 60 years. The civil service is the one which kept the economy on track, kept our nation on track. If not for the civil service, we probably would have had riots on the street.
Now, on that note as well, Dato', I was just wondering, how do you foresee the salary adjustments under SSPA contributing to attracting and, more critically, retaining talent within the civil service, especially in critical sectors? Do you think this is enough for them?
Okay, you see, you cannot compare our civil service pay to the private sector, and that's a very unfair competition because the private sector is driven completely by different dynamics. But in the civil service, it is one, service to king and nation. Second, in terms of, it is a very good training ground. And I think the civil service, especially with the new KSN in place, I think has made changes in strategic sectors in terms of hiring and firing, where meritocracy seems to be one of the more top criteria in terms of recruitment of civil servants. And I think we are slowly seeing a shift of even our graduates, our young graduates coming out and wanting to be part of the civil service, because that's one of the best training grounds. And me being a civil servant myself, I can tell you probably our best times in terms of that grounding, that discipline is something that's instituted in many of us during our civil service days, and it really becomes a nation building exercise for many of these people. So in terms of retaining talents, the young talent pool that is coming out of our tertiary education system would certainly look at civil service as one of the more opportunity for them to actually join.
Well, thank you for your time, Dato. We look forward to speaking with you again as usual. Great stuff. And that was Dato A.T. KUMARARAJAH, socio-economic and political commentator. Thank you. I'm off to a short break right now. When we come back, we'll take a look at developments in other ASEAN countries. Don't wander off. I'll be right back. This is The Nation ASEAN Plus. Welcome back with me, Melissa Ong. We continue The Nation ASEAN Plus with Singapore. Xinhua reported that the Singapore Police Force has expressed concerns over a surge in a drink driving case, with 180 cases recorded in 2023, the highest annual figure since 2014. In the first 10 months of 2024, 142 drink driving accidents were reported, including 10 fatal crashes. In response, authorities conducted a 2-day island-wide operation from Friday to Saturday targeting drink driving offences. Karawang Station, a key stop in Indonesia's landmark Jakarta-Bandung High-Speed Railway HSR, was officially inaugurated on Tuesday. At the inauguration ceremony, Indonesia's Coordinating Minister for Infrastructure and Regional Development described Karawang region as a leading rice production hub and a major centre for industrial parks, highlighting the station's role in reducing travel times and boosting economic opportunities. The Jakarta-Bandung High-Speed Railway, affectionately called Whoosh for its remarkable speed, was put into official commercial operation in mid-October last year. Built in cooperation with China under the Belt and Road Initiative, the 142.3-kilometre high-speed rail has a design speed of 350 km per hour. It cuts travel time between the country's largest city of Jakarta and Bandung in West Java province from over 3 hours to just 40 minutes. The Squid Game craze continues. Indonesian fans of Netflix Squid Game braved the rain to play a real-life adaptation of the show's iconic red light, green light game last week in Jakarta, part of the streaming service's local publicity efforts before its flagship show's second season. Following cues sung by a life-size robotic Gyeonghee doll from the show, fans attempted to run down a narrow track past the doll, freezing their movements to avoid elimination every time its heads turned to face them. The show's worldwide popularity was recently bolstered by critical approval, with the new season being nominated the Best Television Series in the drama category at the upcoming 2025 Golden Globes Awards, ahead of its streaming release on December 26. Now moving on, hundreds of Indian Ocean tsunami survivors and family members of the victims commemorated its 20th anniversary on Thursday in various parts of Aceh, which accounted for more than half of the total 230,000 dead from the disaster. Family members of the deceased gathered at a mass grave in Uli Lere village. A memorial service was also held in the front yard of Aceh's Grand Baitur Rahman Mosque, where hundreds sat in silence for 3 minutes in remembrance of the tsunami before praying together. The tsunami on December 26, 2004 was triggered by a 9.1 magnitude quake off the coast of Indonesia's Aceh province, sending waves as high as 57 feet, slamming into coastlines of Indonesia, Thailand, Sri Lanka, India and 9 other countries. Now, meanwhile, in Thailand, the country also marked the 20th year anniversary of the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami in southern Phang Nga province on Thursday, holding a ceremony with religious rites for victims of the disaster. Hundreds also visited a tsunami memorial wall near Ban Nam Kem village, where the ceremony was held to pay their respects to lost loved ones. Phang Nga was one of Thailand's hardest hit provinces, with the disaster claiming 5,400 lives there, including many foreign tourists. On the same day, a candlelight vigil was also held in the Thai village of Ban Nam Kem to mark 20 years since the massive Indian Ocean tsunami hit the region in one of the modern history's worst natural disasters. The small fishing village in Phang Nga province bore the brunt of the devastating wave in Thailand. Mourners walked through the Ban Nam Kem memorial holding candles before placing them at a memorial sign built on the sand. Still with Thailand, Ava and Luna, two rare 3-year-old golden tigers, have stolen the spotlight at the Chiang Mai Night Safari, with their dazzling golden coats and irresistible, cute kitten-like features captivating the hearts of visitors from around the world. According to the zoo's tiger trainer, these are rare tigers and can only be found in animal breeding centers worldwide or in zoos. They can no longer be found in the wild. The golden tabby is a color variation of the Bengal tigers, sometimes known as strawberry, and is caused by recessive genes. They are described as having thicker than usual light gold fur, pale legs, and faint orange stripes. Stay with us as we take a short break and return with updates from more ASEAN countries. Don't go anywhere. This is The Nation ASEAN Plus on Bernama TV. Welcome back. In case you missed this update, Thailand hosted 6 countries in Bangkok on 19 December for an informal consultation with neighboring countries, attended by foreign ministers and officials from China, Myanmar, India, Bangladesh and Laos. During the meeting, Myanmar issues were raised, including elections. After the meeting, Thailand's foreign minister said that the Myanmar provided updates about the political roadmap and said that 53 political parties had registered in preparation for the election to be held next year. The minister also said the importance of resolving internal conflict was emphasized in the meeting, where it was stressed that all parties within Myanmar must cease the use of violence and turn to dialogue towards a peaceful solution. China's foreign ministry on Thursday urged the Philippines to return to peaceful development, saying Manila's decision to deploy a U.S. medium-range missile system in military exercises would only bring the risk of an arms race to the region. The U.S. Typhoon system, which can be equipped with cruise missiles capable of striking Chinese targets, was brought in for joint exercises earlier this year. On Tuesday, the Philippines Defense Minister said its deployment was justified. Moving on, Vietnam Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh said his country was firm in its for no defense policy at an arms fair attended by some 250 exhibitors from countries including the US, China, Russia, Britain and Iran. This include not participating in military alliances, not allying with one country to fight another, not allowing foreign countries to set up military bases or use its territory to attack another country, and not using force or threatening to use force in international affairs. Vietnam is a major importer of weapons, especially from Russia, having invested for years in its defense capabilities in an unstable region where it has clashed with China over boundaries in the South China Sea. Now, a young attendant from the Dai ethnic group on the China-Laos Railway has witnessed firsthand how the railway has transformed the daily lives of people in surrounding areas, offering greater convenience and fostering deeper connections. The China-Laos Railway, which connects Kunming, the capital of southwest China's Yunnan province, with the Lao capital Vientiane, started operation on December 3rd, 2021. Stretching 1,035 kilometers, this railway is a flagship project within the framework of the China Proposed Belt and Road Initiatives. The railway not only marks a change in people's life, but also stimulates the economic development of the surrounding areas, bringing more commercial activity and cultural exchanges. That's all the time we have. This has been your weekend insight into ASEAN. Stay informed with the Nation ASEAN Plus only on Bernama TV. To keep yourself updated, log on to bernama.com. This will also link you to all our social media platforms as well. I'm Melissa Ong. Thanks for tuning in.